Hi there, cats and kittens. Welcome to Spooky Froggy Friday. And today I am making a spirit board froggy purse charm. And I'm starting off with crystal clear epoxy from Let's Resin, sapphire colored resin dye, and this glitter mixture that I had made for my daughter's college tumbler. And it's basically white with a couple of different golds. I have had this cute little mold forever. So I actually cannot find it, but I did find you some comparable items, which you'll find in the description. And this has a small spirit board, a small planchette, a little like moon phase kind of a cabochon, and two teeny tiny planchettes. For this particular project, I'm only going to be using the spirit board and the larger planchette. Once I get this all situated, it goes into my curing machine for a couple of hours, and now I'm ready to demold. There you saw the little moon phase cabochon, and these are the tiny planchettes, which I think I might make into a pair of earrings, so you might be seeing that coming. Here's the planchette I'm using in this project, and then I will go ahead and take out the spirit board as well. Of course, there needs to be a little frog in here too, so I've gotten one of my mini frogs. I've covered it with UV resin so that it's got a little something for the paint to grip to, and I'm painting it black because of course, this frog is spooky. I attached him to the end of a popsicle stick with some UV resin just to make it easier for myself. And I do give him 2 coats of paint, letting the paint dry in between the coats. Has any of you ever had a spirit board? I don't think I've ever had one. My older sisters might have, I'm not sure. This mold does have some etching in it, so I am applying some white acrylic paint, and I'm just using a little silicone spatula to get that down into those etchings so that way you can see them. You'll see what I mean in a moment. And I just take a paper towel and I wipe off the excess paint and it's good to go. Froggy Friday is a weekly amphibian collaboration hosted by Girl in the Garage, Dragon's Cave, Nerd Goblin Art, Tim the Bass Resonator, and Gert Creates. Playlist is in the description. Go watch those other videos after mine. This was leftover resin from a different project, so it did get a few bubbles here and there because it was slightly thick when I poured it, but really it's nothing noticeable, and I think it turned out just fine. I'm just finishing up the paint on the planchette here, and while I was doing this, I was thinking these would be really cool glow in the dark, and then I would make the etchings dark so that you would see it sort of backlit, if that makes sense. I really think I might make that. You can see there were a couple of bubbles there, but it's nothing too noticeable. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a layer of UV resin over this to protect the paint. One thing I noticed is that the UV resin kind of dulled the white paint. I really don't know why that happened. I don't think I've ever had that happen before, but it was sort of disappointing. I may need to use a different sort of white pigment other than acrylic paint next time. Now our Froggo needs a coat of UV resin for himself. And what I've done is I've added some of this interference green mica powder into that UV resin. Mica powders, interference powders, they all look amazing over a black base. And I have been kind of obsessed with the interference powders lately. So He's going to get a coat of the green interference powder, which, as you can see over the black, does show up fairly green. So he's a spooky frog, but he's still a frog. You will be seeing quite a few Halloween projects from me. I will be participating in a collaboration hosted by Lula from Nerd Goblin Art, and it is the 13 Days of Halloween. Starting October 1st, I will have a video a day until I hit the 13th, and I will have a new project almost every day. You may see a project span 2 or 3 videos if it's a larger one, but for the most part, you'll see a new project every day. So keep your eye out for that. That's going to be a really fun collab. I need to hang these, and so I need to drill a hole in them to put a jump ring in. And I want to start the little indentation first. I'm just using a straight weeding tool for that, just so that the drill bit doesn't jump around. And I'm going to simply open up one of the jump rings and UV resin it around one of the frog's eyes. But first, I want to give him eyes. Since I covered them up with black paint, you can't see them. So I'm giving sort of the whites of the eyes here with a paint pen, and then I will go in and I will make the pupils of the eyes using a red alcohol ink pen. I think it looks really cool. It's something that you wouldn't really notice unless you looked closely, kind of a little Easter egg. Now that's one freaky Froggo. Sorry, I had to. You know I love dad jokes. They're kind of my thing. I thought about drilling a hole in the frog, but then I realized it would be much easier to just open this jump ring and UV resin it into place. I really wish I had used much smaller jump rings. I don't remember my thought process as far as like why I chose the jump rings I did. They're huge, but I'm sure I had a reason at the time. Recording video of projects ahead of time is really useful as far as getting things done, but it does have its drawbacks, such as what in the heck was I thinking when I made this? I have attached these to some chain, which of course I didn't record because I'm a professional. But I went ahead and then attached that chain to this little clasp. It's a rotating clasp, and I liked that the red matched his eyes. And here it is all ready to go. I really like the way this turned out. I think it's the perfect mix of sparkly but spooky. It's very much right up my alley, and I like the little Easter egg surprise of the Froggy's red eyes. I'm so excited to have this on my Haunted Mansion purse now. I can't wait to carry it around. It's officially spooky season, and for once during the year, my 12-foot skeleton being up is appropriate. Although I think he's appropriate all the time. I hope you love this, and I hope the rest of your day is hoppin'. Thanks for hopping by. I'll see you soon.